Fall bug invasion. Stink bugs, lady beetles, boxelders. Solved. Okay, fall is here, the leaves are gorgeous, the air is crisp, and your house just became a bug B&B. You know, you're making chili on a Sunday afternoon and boom, a stink bug belly flops right into the pot. You know, lady beetles are shitting on your walls, boxelder beetles are ganging up on your siding. You know, you got a bug takeover. They're fall invaders. Now, the fall invaders are coming for you end of August, beginning of September. This is the time to prepare yourself for fall invaders. Stick with me because we're going to go over where they come from, why they love your house, how to keep them out, how to evict them when they've already moved in, and at the end I'll share my essential oil hack so your house smells amazing while your bugs hit the road. I'm Jim. I'm a licensed pest control technician in the state of New York, so I know what's going on in the northeast of the United States. Who's already had a stink bug invasion this fall? Drop a like in the chat, drop a number 1 in the chat if you've ever seen one crawling across your TV screen or up in the corner while you're watching TV. So stink bugs are from Asia, okay? And they smell like garlicky gym socks. You don't want to... That's what they call them, stink bugs. You don't want to squish them. Asian lady beetles look like ladybugs, but they bite and they stain fabrics in the walls, and they've got an upside down M, which you say would be a W, on their back of their head, right down there, so you can tell that they're not ladybugs. They're lady beetles, right? And they're from Asia as well. Boxelder bugs, they're native, but they roll deep in gangs, and they will get the sun where the sun hits and you know, congregate on your siding and cause a mess and of course defecate and all that kind of stuff. You know why now? You know, shorter days. As the sun goes down, the cooler temperatures push them indoors. Now they're going to end up under your siding, under your eaves and soffits, because that's at the end of the day. That's where the sun is at the last part of the day. That's the warmest part at the end of the day before it gets cold. And where are they going to go? They're going to go right up into your siding, right up into your soffits, right up underneath. You know, so, you know, what would you rather deal with? You know, a stink bug buzzing around like a kamikaze pilot, or a whole gang of boxelder bugs camped out on your siding? You know, me, I don't want to deal with either one of them. So why your house? Okay, so sometimes it's a sunny south-facing wall. You know, they're prime landing spots. You know, light siding, brick, wood, bug magnets, they like that. The cracks around the soffits, vents, and trims, you know, they end up in any place that they can squeeze into. You know, your ridge vent, your gable vents, your soffits, your soffit vents, you know, your window jams around everywhere, you know, cracks, soffits, open doors. They don't pay rent, they just move in. You know, they just, and you know, the bad part about it is they're going to move in now, and they're going to winter up in your attic, in your soffits, under your insulation. They're going to spend all winter there, okay? But they're going to come out every once in a while. The heat from your house is going to wake them up. They're going to come down into the heat thinking it's springtime, and they're going to end up in your house all winter long. You'll see 1, 2, 3 here, there, everywhere, if you're lucky, or you might see a lot, right? But anyway, what they do, you want to know what they do? Outdoors, stink bugs destroy crops. Soybeans, apples, corn, you know, all the kind of stuff that you see the farmers when you're driving around, all that stuff. So what they do is they bite it, and they suck a little moisture out of it, and then they leave it. They don't eat the whole thing. They ruin the crop, so the whole thing is a waste. You know, they ruin apples like crazy. Indoors, they stink, they stain, they trigger allergies in people. Lady beetles are asthma triggers, okay? The fabric stains and biting. They stain your fabrics, they stain your carpet, they stain your walls. It really, and it smells. Boxelder bugs, they're more a nuisance than a damage, but they're overwhelming in the numbers, and they're messy. They will defecate in the walls wherever they're congregating. They'll leave a mess. Okay, so you know, okay, confession time. Okay, who here smashes stink bugs? Let me know in the chat. You know, and who here is the vacuum warrior? You know, if you're a vacuum warrior and you suck them up, let me know in the chat. Be honest. Let me know. You know. Has anyone ever mistaken an Asian lady beetle for a ladybug and found out the hard way? Like they got bit, or they got invaded, they had an infestation? We want to know about the prevention, okay? The prevention. Seal the cracks around the windows and siding and doors, okay? Weather stripping, door sweeps, you gotta seal all the cracks, fix, replace damaged screens, caulk and seal soffits, attic vents, gable ends, all that kind of stuff has to be sealed up, okay? Exterior perimeter spray late in summer, strongest line of defense, okay? We do in the business, we do basically a power wash of the house with product, essential oils basically, and we basically douse your house in essential oils to repel them, stop them from getting in. It's a repellent, something they don't want to do. I mean, some of the mixture is a pesticide, but most of it is a repellent, and that's what you want to do. And you want to, spray your house with these essential oils. And if you want to know, stick with me. I'm going to tell you what the essential oils are. I'm going to give you the recipe, so stick to the end. Okay, let me know in the chat. What's the weirdest place you found one of these invaders? I've heard microwaves, cars, even inside the lampshades. Let me hear your stories. Let me know the weirdest place you found the stink bug. Okay, so they're already inside. What do, right? You vacuum them up, dispose of the bag pretty fast. Don't crush it. The stink, and it stains, right? There's traps for lady beetles, like glue traps, kind of like the mouse glue traps, but you put a pheromone in it. There's limited indoor sprays, okay? But you want to do the natural stuff, so stick with me. Focus on blocking them from entering, not battling once they're in. You want to keep them out. Once they're in, they're in. Okay, so now you're trying to deal with it. You want to stop them from getting in. All right, you made it this far, so here's the bonus I promised. The top oils for repelling these fall invaders are peppermint. All right, stink bugs and boxelders don't like peppermint. Clove oil, lady beetles hate clove oil. Citrus and lemongrass in general, and tea tree all around, tea tree oils. You're going to mix it right. You're going to put about 10 to 15 drops of oil, a teaspoon of dish soap for an emulsifier or rubbing alcohol. You got to have an emulsifier in there, or it won't mix. The oil and water don't mix. 1 cup of water, and shake it well, right? Now you're going to spray your window frames, your door frames, your baseboards, your attic entrances. Companion scents. If you don't like the scents, you can always use citrus and peppermints, like a mojito, or you can use clove and orange for like a fall candle type of smell. All right. Now, like I said, we would put that in a power washer, in the reservoir of the power washer, the essential oil, and spray the soffits down for you, okay? Wouldn't you rather your house smell like peppermint, citrus, or cloves if it meant keeping the bugs away? Let me know in the chat. Okay, who here is the DIY? You're going to try to do it yourself first. And who is I'm going to call the pro right away. Let me know, if you're going to call the professional or if you're going to try to do it yourself. Let me know. I'd like to see how many would like to do it themselves. It's not rocket science. So there you have it, stink bugs, lady beetles, boxelders. We've covered where they come from, why they love your house, how to keep them out, how to evict them, and even a DIY essential oil trick to keep your house smelling like a spa instead of a bug motel. But every house is different. What works for your neighbor might not work for you. That's why I offer a 15-minute consultational call, with me, a licensed technician. So there'll be a link down there for a Google link. You're going to pay PayPal. I think it's $50 for 15 minutes. Book the call. We'll come in. I'll talk to you, tell you whatever your problem is. We'll go through it. I've been doing this for 10 years. Hit the link in the chat or description, book your call, and let's come up with a custom plan to keep your home pest free this fall. Before we wrap up, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big is your bug infestation this year? 1 is barely a nuisance, or 10, you're about to charge them rent. A lot of these don't have natural predators, so if you don't do anything this year, it's just going to get worse next year. It gets worse every year. My experience is, if you don't stay up with it, it's just going to get worse. Now, you're ready for real help? Then book the 15-minute consultation call with the licensed technician today. We'll do a Google Meet or something similar like that. Get customized plan for your home. Link is in the description.